joining us for this
My
GiST seminar. Right, so we're going to talk about school and education, if that's okay. I don't know if you've got any skeletons in the closet.
Not that I recall.
Good. Okay, so can you tell us where you went to school and if you enjoyed school?
So I went to school in Clean Comprehensive School in Newport, and I enjoyed it for the most part. I was a little bit of a loner. I had some very good friends, but not loads, but the ones I had were great. So it was hard, I'm not going to lie, but there were a lot of good bits, and it got better as it went on.
Oh, that's good. And were you quite an academic pupil, or were you kind of just chilled about everything?
It depends at what stage you ask me. So I struggled with school for many, many years. It was only around GCSE level when my grades started to just skyrocket up. And but luckily they didn't go back down too much afterwards. But up until then, I don't think people had much high hopes of me. They just thought I'd be able to skate along. But I was very lucky to have a few teachers who were fantastic and had faith in me when I didn't have it in myself.
Oh, brilliant. Really that's good. Okay, so you did reasonably well in the GCSEs then. So what subjects did you take and what were your favourites?
So I did quite a lot on the design section, which kind of leads into what I do now. So I did art, 2 types of product design. So I did resistant materials, graphics, double science, geography, and I think the rest were compulsory. So maths, English, RE, Welsh.
Okay, and what were your best subjects, whether it was your favourite or the best results you got? I don't know how you judge
I think it's pretty much the same there. It would have been art. I absolutely adored art. I thought until very, very late on that I was going to be an artist.
Okay.
But I adored that.
Excellent. Okay, so after that, did Clean have a sixth form? I'm not sure if they have a sixth form or not. Did you stay at sixth form or go to college?
I stayed till the end. Yeah, I stayed into sixth form and I really enjoyed it.
Okay, and again, what did you carry on that art, or did you obviously?
Oh yeah,
you must have had some science or something in there somewhere. So what did you do for A levels?
So I did art, maths, and physics, and I also did an AS in English language.
Okay, excellent. And again, was art the focus then at that time still?
Oh yeah. So I was considering architecture or something design-based, something technology-based, but art was my passion, it's my love. I still do it wherever I can now, but I needed that to be carried over. So yeah, I wasn't going to give that up anytime soon.
Okay, interesting. So yeah, so even though you're sort of engineering and science now, all started with the art and design stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So how did you make that sort of change or sort of get to where you are now? Did you go to university? Did you have any time off? And what did you choose to do at university? Because I'm assuming you did go to university.
I did, and I never left, would be the most accurate way of putting it. So at the end of A levels, I realised engineering was not only a thing, but had lots of different opportunities, because up until that point, I didn't really consider it as a career. I didn't think it was as creative as it was, but when I realised it was just the application of maths and science to design, it became a lot more interesting. So I did product design engineering up to master's level at Swansea University. And then I just stuck around, did a doctorate, and now I work for them. So I just didn't leave. That was 2011 when I started out.
And you're still at Swansea University now?
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing necessarily. So product design, that was your
product design engineering. It's a weird hybrid course.
Okay, can you give us an idea of what that involves for people who have no idea?
Yeah, so at the core of engineering is taking your understanding of maths and physics, but in this case you're just applying it to mechanical based design. So it's a bit of mechanical, so a bit of the understanding of how physics and maths relate to the structures and how they can withstand forces, but it was also very focused on the actual design process, coming up with the ideas, the prototyping, developing them into a final product and how you would market them. And then a bit of materials science as well thrown in. So it was a little bit of everything.
And quite creative, as you say.
Oh yeah, it was very creative. I got to design things ranging from wind turbines to prosthetic feet to even an ergonomic squat toilet.
Nice.
So it's varied. It was great. Yeah.
No, that sounds really interesting. Something that when I went and did physics as a degree, I think I would have enjoyed engineering more because of the applied nature and the kind of real life situations it can put you in, whereas physics was quite kind of the academic sort of side of things. So yeah, I've always thought people don't know enough about engineering to sort of see it as an option, really.
That is a big problem. It's still a very, very large problem. I was very lucky that I had a couple of my design technology teachers, product design teachers. They were both, well, one of them was an ex-engineer and the other one was into something called the Engineering Education Scheme Wales, and they allowed me to do that, and that gave me a taste for what it was actually about rather than my misconceptions of what I thought it was about.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so Engineering Education Scheme Wales, some of the schools who are watching might have heard of that and might take part in those sort of projects. And it's sort of a schools project where you get to work with industry, I think, don't you, to design things and do competitions and things. So really, really worthwhile taking part in that sort of thing, just like Technocamps, because it gives you those real life experiences and it sort of makes you realise what those subjects are, doesn't it, rather than just hearing the word and not being sure.
Yeah, it was incredibly useful, not only just to get a taste for it, but also when I came to apply to university, I could call upon all the skills that I'd used during those projects and put them into my application form. So it was really helpful in many, many ways.
Excellent. Okay, and you said you did a doctorate. Does that mean you are a doctor
I am
of
a
engineering,
doctor,
or so? What was your doctorate?
Only a few months. My doctorate is very close to what I do now. So it was on screen printing of functional materials. So don't know.
Again, creative as well. Screen printing,
That's the beauty of it. I mean, the only time before this I come across a screen printer was in art, and I knew it as a t-shirt press. But then I realised, due to the fact that screen printing allows you to put really, really thick fluids through the mesh, you can print inks that contain conductive particles, colour changing particles, all these really cool things that allow us to make printed electronics and active packaging. And that was what I worked on for a few years to improve the scientific understanding behind how it worked.
Oh, excellent. Okay, we might go into a bit more of that later if anyone's got any questions on that. That's fantastic. You told me in a quick chat earlier that you're involved in I'm an Engineer, Get Me Out of Here. That sounds very exciting. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So I'm an Engineer is a fantastic chat system where schools are able to book online sessions and get a bunch of engineers. I think there's 24 in the group I'm doing this for, and then they're able to send us all their weird and wonderful questions in the 40-minute sessions they have with us. And we also have to create these CV-like profiles where we say everything about education, what we like, even what our favorite food is. All of those things are up there, and then they choose their favorite person each week based on a vote. I won in the first week. I've sadly not won in the last 2 weeks, so
that's
try again coming up.
Sounds like a brilliant project. So another project that schools and pupils can get involved in as well. It sounds excellent. Okay, thank you for that. We're going to go live now and do a bit of a Q&A session with the audience that are here today. So thank you very much for having a chat with me, and I will see you again in a minute.
Pleasure. See you.
Thank you.